Madam, we are live.
Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the Baldwin Parks Planning Commission for August 23rd, 2023. It is 7:05 p.m. Commissioner Rodriguez, would you mind, or would you please lead us in the flag salute?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Planning Secretary, will you please roll call?
Thank you. Eric Pena,
Present.
Janice Gabosa,
Present.
Mario Maciel Jr.,
Here.
Roman Rodriguez,
Here.
and Stephanie Gonzalez.
Present.
Thank you.
Mr. Secretary, I understand you would like to address the commission.
Thank you. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm the new city planner. My name's Nick Baldwin. It's very nice to meet you all. I'm happy to be here. I would like to bring to your attention something a little bit different today. We have a special order of business. That is that we will be swearing in all 5 of you as new planning commissioners. You'll be the new planning commission, and we will also be electing the chair and vice chair. And with that, I'll pass it on to our Secretary Esther Washington.
If you would please, the Central Commissioners stand for the oath of office. When I ask you to repeat your names, would you please repeat your names? Raise your right hand, please. Thank you. I state your name.
I, Mario Maciel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
the Constitution of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
bear true faith,
and allegiance
allegiance
to the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or evasion,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
which I am about to enter.
You have been duly sworn. Thank you.
So now that everyone is official, it is the time to select a chair for the commission. And so I call on my fellow commissioners. Is there any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Janice Gabosa for chair.
I'll second it.
I accept. Are there any other nominations? Including self-nominations? All right. Can I please get a roll call?
Eric Pena,
Yes.
Yes.
Conservative Chair. Mario Maciel
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Stephanie Gonzalez.
Yes. The motion passes and I, Jen, have been selected as the new chair for the planning commission. And so now we will move forward to select a vice chair. Are there any nominations, including self-nominations?
I'll nominate Mr. Commissioner Eric Peña as Vice Chair.
I second.
And I accept.
Any other nominations? Can I please get a roll call?
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Eric Pena,
Yes.
Chair Jen Escobosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Mario Maciel Junior,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Stephanie Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And so now we will move forward to oral communications. If there's anyone in the audience wishing to address the commission on anything other than the items listed on the agenda, now is your time. Please come to the podium. Seeing no intentions to come to speak, I will close communications. Can I get a motion?
I motion.
I'll second. Can I please get a roll call?
Thank you. Chair Jen Escobosa,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pena,
Yes.
Commissioner Mario Maciel Junior,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Stephanie Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
My apologies. I was waiting for the train to pass. All right, there is one item on the consent calendar. Would any of the commissioners like to pull that item?
I'll make the motion to approve minutes from June 28th of 2023.
I'll second it.
Can I please get a roll call?
Thank you, Chair. Chair Jen Escobosa,
Yes.
Vice Chair Eric Pena,
Yes.
Commissioner Mario Maciel Junior,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Stephanie Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. All right, so the first and only case being considered today is CP 2306. And that is a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park to approve a conditional use permit for a swim school within an existing commercial building located in the C2 General Commercial Zone of the City of Baldwin Park. Assistant Planner there you are.
Hi.
Ready for your presentation. It's all yours.
Thank you, Chair. Our Assistant Planner, Jesus Astorga, will be providing the presentation.
Let me make sure.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Awesome. All righty. Good evening, Honorable Chair and members of the commission. Next slide, please. Oh, wait, no, go one more back. Thank you. Before you is conditional use permit CP 23-06 to allow for the use of a swim school within an existing retail building located in the C2 General Commercial Zone. Next slide. The subject property is located north of Ramona Boulevard and west of Larica Avenue at 14007 Ramona Boulevard. The subject site is approximately 16,000 square feet in lot area, and the property is located within a multi-tenant shopping center. Right here. Next slide, please. The applicant, VB Swim School, is proposing to use the existing 4,000 square foot retail tenant space as a private swim school located here on the site plan shown. Shown on the current slide is the existing site plan for the property. As shown on the site plan, the existing shopping center is composed of 3 separate parcels. Parcel 1 located to the left of the property, parcel 2, which is the subject site, and parcel 3, which is an existing Jack in the Box drive-through. Next slide, please. The following slides show on-site photographs taken by the applicant. Shown on the current slide is an aerial view of the subject property. Next slide, please. Shown on this slide is another aerial view of the subject property, shown here, and the remaining portions of the existing shopping center, shown here. Next slide, please. The photograph on the current slide shows the view of the existing retail building from an eye level view. Staff would like to note for the knowledge of the Planning Commission that only an interior remodel of the building is being proposed at this time. Next slide. The photograph on the slide shows the interior of the existing retail building on the subject property. This is how the building currently looks. Next slide, please. This slide shows the proposed site plan or floor plan for the swim school. As noted in the staff report for this item, the proposed swim school will have the following elements: a new 18,400 square foot pool area shown here, a designated waiting area for parents and guardians south shown here, a designated reception area shown here on the slide, 2 new restrooms shown here on the slide, new showers, a utility closet shown here, and 5 portable changing rooms located next to the waiting area. Next slide, please. Shown on the current slide are the existing elevations that include a conceptual sign plan shown below. Should the applicant's request be granted, the applicant will submit separate sign permit plans for separate permit review. Next slide, please. As noted in the applicant's operation plan enclosed as attachment number 3 of this item's agenda packet, the applicant has indicated that the swim school will hold 7 classes or will hold classes 7 days a week with a total of 6 classes held throughout a given day. Shown on the current slide is the proposed schedule of classes for the swim school, which, as you can see, are staggered throughout the day to avoid overcrowding of the facility and to avoid any potential parking issues. Next slide, please. The applicant anticipates having a total of 28 students on the site throughout a given day. Students that are finished with instruction are required to leave the facility as per the applicant's operation plan. Conditions have been included in the Planning Commission resolution enclosed as attachment number 3 of this item's agenda packet to address potential parking issues that may arise as a part of this application. Next slide, please. This application has been noticed in accordance with the law and determined to be exempt from CEQA. To date, staff have not received any verbal or written public comments regarding this application. Last slide. In conclusion, staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve Planning Commission Resolution PC 23-17, approving conditional use permit CP 23-06. Planning staff is available for any questions regarding the project. Thank you. And this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Jesus. I will now turn it over to our commission. Are there any questions?
I do have one question. I know we currently have in our recreation center, we offer swim classes already. So how would that impact our recreation center if we're offering that service already.
Right. To answer that question, I can advise that this is a private swim school. So this would be a separate institution providing that instructional need. And as far as just generally with respect to how the swim school operates, if you'd like, I can go ahead and have the applicant provide additional comments in regards to that, if you'd like to hear from them
Sure.
already.
I'm sorry, Jesus, let's hold for
For
a
that.
second. Let's
Get the rest of
allow the
questions.
commissioners to ask their questions, and then we will absolutely love to hear from you.
I just want to point out, are provided the locations that we have already. Accurate. Update. Have already.
Any other questions from our commission?
I have a question, Jesus.
Yeah.
In regards to the parking, you said there might be an issue arising from that. Could you let us know exactly out of the parking available on that particular unit, how much of that parking is designated for the swim or for this potential client?
Right. So as noted in the staff report for the item, the subject site has approximately 18 parking spaces. And based on the required number of parking for a swim school noted in the staff report, they are meeting the parking requirements. And the conditions of approval noted in the planning commission resolution are added in there in case there are potential parking issues that relate to the site as a whole.
Okay.
But the site itself complies with the minimum parking requirements.
Jesus, I have one question.
Yeah.
Has there been any conversation around planning for the potential and hopeful growth of the business? Because right now we're being told that there would never be more than 20 students at a time.
Mhm.
Is that set? They're never going to take more than that? Like that's their capacity? Or is there a plan for growth? What if more people want to join?
Right. I believe that question would be a bit more appropriate to have the applicant respond with respect to projected growth. But from a planning standpoint, there is a condition of approval that is noted. Let me go ahead and get that number. Give me 1 second. That relates to changes in, for example, number of students. That is something that could be revisited as a part of this application down the road. And it is condition number letter C in section 3.
Yeah.
And if the planning commission members would like, I can read that condition for you guys.
Madam Chair.
All right.
Please.
In
So
addition, in addition to the comments that staff has made, in no way, shape, we think there is going to be a potential after this business does open. There are some protections in the conditions of approval, as staff has indicated, hours of operation, the size of the classroom. So to answer your question, in the future, if it is that there's growth for the school, they would have to come back. They would have to come back for a conditional use permit amendment and would have to come back to the commission for their review and approval. So those added conditions in the resolution are there to make sure that if there's any proposed expansion, that have to be reviewed by the city and then considered before the planning commission for consideration, along with noticing, just as we did for this hearing.
Perfect. Thank you. Commissioner Peña, I believe you had a question.
Yeah, just to follow up, it's, actually, I think our community development director just answered that question. So thank you.
I have one additional question. The parking that's available directly east of the building, is that considered parking for Jack in the Box, or is that also parking that can be utilized for this potential client?
directly east of the building, would you like for me to pull up the plan so you can point to which area you're referring to?
Yeah.
If we can get the PowerPoint presentation up, please.
So directly in front of the building, I see approximately 12 stalls directly in front. But if you point to the right,
Yes.
right there, that parking that's, and in the middle, up a little bit, right there, up.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
that section where you see the cursor.
Right. So you can see on the site plan, the portions that are noted with black as the property boundaries. So the 18 parking spaces that are counted for this business are within this outlined area here. The remaining portions of parking stalls are exclusive to parcel 3 for Jack in the Box.
Okay. And then my last question will be, I know we send out notifications to those that near vicinity. 300 feet, could you tell me exactly how many of those tenants there were advised of this potential client?
As far as the noticing goes?
Yes.
Yeah, so per the requirements for public noticing, all adjacent property owners and tenants were notified. So to date, we haven't received any comments from any tenants or any members of the public addressing that concern or bringing up that concern.
Thank you, Jesus.
Mhm.
I have no further questions.
I have a question and I don't think it was, I looked through the plan. What is the chlorine delivery system that they're planning to use for the indoor pool?
Right. I believe that may be more of a question for the applicant team as far as how they intend to submit their application package. So that's more details that the applicant team can provide.
Okay. And my follow-up to that is, because there's different type of delivery systems, would there be any potential hazards of storing or having different types of either gas chlorine or liquid chlorine in a commercial basin? Then is there adequate ventilation for the indoor pool? Again, on the site plan, I don't know if it was noted what type of ventilation they actually do have for that type.
Right. As far as the specifics, I'll defer to the applicant. And then once they give their response, if you still have questions for staff, we'll be more than happy to answer them.
Right.
If I may, Commissioner Gonzalez, along with the discretionary approval before you tonight, the conditions of approval prior to this coming to the commission, the plan was reviewed by our building department for compliance with the state building code. So hypothetically receiving the approval tonight, the applicant's architect will have to submit plans to the building division for review and approval in compliance with the state building code. And that includes also state ventilation. In addition to the building code, plans were also reviewed by the Public Works Department. So there is a condition in here that they have to comply with hazardous material and also NPDES requirements.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. Okay, one additional item to add on the resolution, item number G. It does call for proper ventilation for installation to control that humidity and odor, and that's per the building code. So that is covered through the resolution.
All right, if there are no further questions, I will now declare the public hearing open. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this matter, either for, against?
I just have one comment. The property has been empty for more than 2 years and has been previous. The landlord has been tried to pull another business like dental, but because the traffic is a little more heavy with the use of commercial and other activities, was denied for the commission. So I think this business is good for the community, and because has been empty for more than 2 years, I think this business is LUZ as a zebra.
Last name, please.
Reina, Reyna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Has everyone in the audience had a chance to speak for or against this item? To the applicant, do you think that you've had the opportunity to address all of the commission's questions? Would we like to bring her? Any other questions for the applicant? Is there any discussion from the commission? If there is no more my apologies, seeing no further interest, I will now declare public hearing closed. And one more call for any discussion from our commission.
Yeah, I'll just say, just thank you so much for leveraging kind of that empty space of retail that we have. So we most welcome you, and just again, thank you so much for coming just to the city and bringing your business. I know that we have plenty of opportunities to market your business as well, and I'm sure community development department will be in touch. But I know that we have a lot of fairs and resource fairs throughout the year, so we would welcome you to have your booth and market your business. But yeah, thank you so much.
All right, if there is no more discussion, I will accept a motion.
Well, Chair, I have one question to staff. In regards to the planning of the layout for this particular client, I do notice that it looks like they're gonna be having chairs right in front of the doors. It looks like a waiting area.
Yes.
This area is potentially where kids will be waiting to enter, I guess, the pool. One of my major concerns is the fact that we do have the parking lot so close to that front entrance, and I don't see anything in the plans for there to be protection to protect, and in the case where there can be a potential vehicle going through those windows.
You're referring to this portion down here, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And to confirm, your concern is with respect to whether vehicles would be able to. If you could just repeat the question.
My ultimate solutions will be if that particular waiting area could be moved somewhere where there's actually a wall instead of just window area.
Okay. Let me see if we can go to slide number 7. We can see a photo view of that site. There we go. So pictured here on the slide are the existing conditions for the building. And just to make sure I understand your concern correctly, you would like to see a potential redesign or not necessarily redesign, but comment from staff to see the waiting area be relocated here?
Exactly, behind the wall, or if they definitely want to have it in front of the windows, if there could be, I don't know, flower plants, a concrete flower plants put in the front.
Okay.
Something that would actually obstruct the vehicle from
Okay.
potentially going in on any given day.
Yeah. I
Commissioner
will,
Moss, if I may, so just given the narrow width of that sidewalk, on that walkway, could be difficult to locate and in order to comply with ADA. So it looks like we have a minimum, just from looking at it, it's probably your minimum 4 foot wide walkway.
I do see what you
And
mean.
then we would be prohibited from recommending for putting anything in that area that would prevent that space from meeting ADA requirements. I think that walkway is pretty much consistent along that.
Yeah, It's consistent with
the
with the
retail
rest of
frontage
how the
along that
shopping center is
center, yeah.
developed.
Well, follow-up question or comment. That it's a shopping center parking lot. And so the speed limit, do you know what the speed limit is for that? Typically not more than
No,
14. 5?
5, I
Five.
would say 5.
I said 14. I'm like, no, that's fast.
Yeah.
But I'm familiar with this shopping center. And so what we're not seeing in this picture is there is a brick wall. It would be towards the right of that picture, it would have a parking slot and then that brick wall that goes along the Ramona.
On the street, but
On the
I'm
street,
saying
yeah.
for those vehicles that
Then
are
you-
directly in front of the,
You may be able to see that wall if you if we go to slide 5 of the presentation. There we go. Are you referring to what this wall was here or?
Well, I'm referring to the front wall. And so I guess my comment was it does feel like there is a barrier between the school and the fast moving traffic.
so yeah, the concern is the vehicles that are parked right in front of the actual location, not the ones on the street. Because yeah, you do have a division with a brick wall between the street and the actual property. But the vehicles right in front are directly in front of that one window. And the only reason for my concern is because we are dealing with kids that are young.
Mhm.
And for the protection of them is relocating that waiting area is the only thing that I would see that would satisfy my concern.
Yeah, and just to play devil's advocate, again, I do understand your concern as well, but even the existing units or businesses to the left even do have sort of a parking space in front where somebody could potentially hit the gas instead of the brake, where they also don't have any protection as well, such as like a
Right,
brick
but you
wall.
won't have customers sitting right in front of the windows. What I'm saying. Anyhow, if the client is willing to speak on this behalf.
So that designated area is just for the kids for away for the parents. So they should be on that place like for 10 minutes, 20 minutes maximum. And because the schedule we have in the hours, they don't be like that many time on that space. It's just a transit area between when the parents and the receptionist is taking control of the kids and when they're leaving, it's like that space. Maybe for the scale, it's hard to feel the space, but it's it's not that big building and we have a double door to the other side. So if in case an emergency, we have access for the other door and like the traffic for that street that pretty much is really slow. And well, that's my comment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have no further questions.
So just checking in with the rest of the commissioners to see if there's any further discussion or questions. As there is no more discussion, I will accept a motion. I will motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Can I please get a roll call?
Thank you, Chair. Chair Janice Bosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Mario Maciel Junior,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Stephanie Gonzalez,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Eric Pena.
Yes.
Thank you.
The motion carries. All right, and the planning commission has voted to find the proposed project is exempt from environmental review under the California Environmental Quality Act and the state CEQA guidelines. We've also voted to adopt PC 23, approving the application for CP 2306, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park approving a conditional use permit for the swim school with an existing commercial building located in the C2 General Commercial Zone of the City of Baldwin Park. Are there any reports of officers?
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I do want to just give the commission notification that we may be having a planning commission meeting, second meeting in September. Oh, first meeting in September. Okay, so, but we will, just so that way you are aware that we will have a planning commission meeting, first meeting in September.
Right, if there are no further comments from the commission, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn to Luz Reina, I want to welcome you to Baldwin Park and welcome the Vivi swimming pool to Baldwin Park, as that site has been a sore thumb for a bit since it has been vacant for quite a while. I think they had a clothing there a long time ago, so it has been vacant. So I do wish you guys success in this new venture. So thank you. And with that, I'll second your motion to adjourn.
Ready? Good for you.
Roll call.
All right, can I please get a roll call?
Thank you, Chair. Chair Jen Escobosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Mario Maciel Junior,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Stephanie Gonzalez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Eric Pena.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. And we are adjourned at 7:43 PM. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you.